everyone, John here of So I Married a Record Collector. For Father's Day, we thought we'd do a special little installment slash episode featuring my dad's record collection. My dad was a big, mainly country music fan, but also liked 50s rock and roll because that was his era. He graduated in 56. His music was the first music I ever remember hearing growing up. When I was little, we had one of those big, my mom still has it, but the phonograph doesn't work, a big Grundig console that used to shake the house when he would blast these records sometimes on the weekends. Sadly, I lost my dad in 2009, 2 years after moving here to northern Michigan, so of course I inherited all his records. So we thought it'd be a fun installment to quickly flip through his whole collection and show you a bunch of things. And we'll start off with this little stack here. My dad was a truck driver for a living, so we do have some truck driving records. I got this for him, I think, out of Izzy's. Put the Hammer Down, a truck driving compilation on the Realistic label, which actually is manufactured by Capitol Records. Realistic, I think, was a CB manufacturer or a manufacturer of all kinds of other electronics. And you might have gotten this when you purchased a new CB radio. And it has all the usual suspects: Merle Haggard, Moving On, Convoy, Red Sovine, Red Simpson. And of course, it has a picture of the Moving On truck from the television show, which started in 1974. I was in starting kindergarten when that show was on, and my dad would get me out of bed to watch it. My mom would be mad because then I wouldn't be up in the morning. This is one I bought for my dad. I think I obviously took it home from Izzy's because that's one of our price guides. I thought he would like this. Or he may have bought this when he came to visit me at the store one Sunday, which he would sometimes do. The Buck Owens Show, live in Vegas on Capitol Records, I believe from '69. And I like Buck Owens a lot too. This is cool because they do Creedence Clearwater's Lodi, and then a lot of his usual hits, and like the coasters, Along Came Jones. This is on the Green Capitol. Yep, the Green Capitol label, like I thought it would be. We used to get this soundtrack out of the library when we were kids. This is one of my dad's favorite movies, and now one of mine. The one in the Rowway Library was the original gatefold. This is a reissue single pocket, the American Graffiti soundtrack. I believe we got this for him for Christmas. You all know this soundtrack. You all love it. I don't really have to say much more about that. This, my dad obviously must have bought when it was brand new. This record kind of confused me as a child before I figured it out. It's music to read James Bond by. And as I studied the liners and everything, it's a bunch of different United artists, recording artists, doing songs from James Bond films, which appeared on their individual albums. My favorite one on this is Perez Prado's version of Goldfinger, which is real quick, fast, really cool, kind of a, Latin thing, of course. This, my dad, as you'll see as we go through this, my dad was a huge Johnny Cash fan. That was his favorite artist. In fact, that's why I'm named John. He named me after Johnny Cash. He loved Johnny Cash. Saw him in '69 at Newark Symphony Hall, and I saw him the following year at Madison Square Garden, which I think is the show that has been released on CD. And then much later on, sometime in the 90s, Johnny Cash came to the Union County Arts Center, or the Rowway Theater as we used to call it, 3 blocks from my house. My mom and dad went. This is Mean as Hell from the early 60s. Johnny a bit, I think, into his pill phase there. Yeah, this is one Dad got out of Izzy's during one of his visits. Ballads from the True West. Another one my dad bought when it first came out, mid-60s, Johnny Cash, Everybody Loves a Nut, with great Jack Davis cover art. Johnny's comedy album. Of course, this connects to me and Heidi because when the Monkees were on the Johnny Cash show in the late 60s, they did Everybody Loves a Nut with Johnny. This, of course, is a Capitol original mono, if that makes a difference. But used to play this a lot when we were kids. I remember my dad really liked the song. The one on the right is the one on the left. This one I bought for Dad for his birthday, or just bought it to give it to him because he was a truck driver. One of those Star Day compilations. Diesel Smoke and Dangerous Curves and other truck driver favorites. I remember getting this and I thought, oh, Dad would like this. And when I took it to Izzy to have my paycheck, garnish my pay in order to take the price of this off, he's like, Izzy's like, this is such a great cover. It's got everything. The waitress, the jukebox, the trucker back there checking her out. But it has, again, all the usual suspects. Red Sovine, the Willis brothers, Mel Kilgore. Cool truck driving comp. This one I think I also bought for Dad or took home from Izzy's. Dave Dudley, truck driving son of a gun. We had gotten a really huge country collection in once. I think the couple that owned them might have passed away and the children inherited everything. But these people went to every country music show in New York City and Newark in the late 60s, and they got everything autographed. We had some autographed Johnny Cash from the late 60s, mid 60s back then. But yeah, to Don and Jan, sincerely and always, Dave Dudley. This one I also got from my dad because I thought he would dig it. Johnny Bond, famous hot rodders I have known. His dad liked hot rods. Another one on Star Day. Really fun record. My favorite track on here covers all the youth culture of the mid 60s right here. Hot Rod Surfing Beatle Nanny. This one I think Dad picked out at Izzy's, or I got it for him for the race car on the cover. Devil Woman by Marty Robbins on Columbia from 1962. This next one, I've shown this film to Heidi, and she said this is a movie for boys. Just like my friend Ruru is a big fan of this film, and his wife Jessica said the same thing. The soundtrack to the Hollywood Nights. You know and love this movie, maybe even more than American Graffiti. If you were a teenager in the 80s, you watched this movie all the time on Showtime and HBO, and you can quote it endlessly. The soundtrack to my dad's #1 favorite movie. He's seen this movie, I swear to God, it has to be in the upper hundreds. Watch it all the time. He would like schedule it, like, oh, I haven't watched Smokey and the Bandit in a while. When it was in the theaters, he went and saw it like 3 times in 1 week when we went to Florida for vacation once. Then the videotape got worn out. Then he got the DVD, which I have up there on my shelf. And we bought this brand new at like Bradley's. Very well worn, not well worn, it's still in good shape. It plays, but yeah. His #1 favorite. I like the movie too. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock loved this movie, he said on the Mike Douglas show. Smoking a Bandit, 1977 soundtrack with Jerry Reed. And who's the guy that did most of the music on here? Shoot. Oh, Bill Justice of Nashville. Another one of my dad's original Johnny Cash records from 1960, Ride This Train, a favorite of Keith Richards, because when Johnny Cash was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Johnny Cash said, yeah, I was in the men's room at the urinal, and Keith Richards walked in behind me singing Loading Coal from this record. Just love the cover. It's pretty badass. It has to be, you know, Southern California, Northern California, maybe the Hatchapee Loop. Johnny Cash, one of the first popular music artists to do concept albums, and that's what it is. It's all about train rides. All the songs are interconnected. Careful, it's split. The soundtrack to another one of my dad's favorite movies, Every Which Way But Loose. If you were a kid in the 70s, you know this. Right Turn, Clyde, and Ma, get off my porch. I have the clip of Ma on the porch fighting with the motorcycle guys. I use that as I played a clip of that on our radio show before I play an instrumental. It's before I play a Link Ray instrumental or something that's kind of leather jacket violent instrumental, because it's just for get off my porch, get off my property, and hospital my ass. But anyway, you all know and love this movie. And of course, the follow-up, his other favorite movie, Any Which Way You Can. I don't like this one as much as Every Which Way But Loose, but it's still good. One of the Everly Brothers is on here. Is
it the same monkey?
Yeah, it's the same monkey.
Like for real?
I believe so.
They use the same monkey? Oh.
Yeah. Sandra Locke gets to sing a song. Or maybe it's on the other, yeah, it's on the other album where one of the Everly Brothers has a song. But also has Ray Charles and Clint Eastwood duetting on Beers to You. This is one my dad pulled out of Izzy's. I remember one time. He made it one, he didn't come down to the store much. I would usually ask him to come down if it was a slow Sunday and Mom was out with my sister. I'd say, come down to Izzy's and hang out. My Dave didn't mind. One time he came down and bought a nice pile of country records, and he pulled this out. The Sons of the Pioneers, 25 favorite cowboy songs. This is an original on the Black RCA Victory label. Anyway, next up, one of my dad's original Johnny Cashes, which he bought, like all the old guys used to say, when I was in the service. So my dad was stationed in the Dakotas for a while before he went to the Dakotas, then went to Japan, then came back when he was in the Air Force. But I think that's where he learned of Johnny Cash. And I know he bought some of these when he was in the Air Force, but this is Johnny Cash sings the songs that made him famous on Sun. And yes, this is an original on Sun. And his records are still in pretty good shape, but the classic story of my family is one time when my sister was real little, I don't know if I was born yet, I may have been born, my mom told her, stay here in the living room because I got to go upstairs and either take care of me because I was a baby or do something. And Rochelle said, okay. And she let her little friend, next door friend, come in the house, and they took out all of Dad's records and laid them out and tap danced on them. So a lot of these have bad gouges and scratches on them, but surprisingly, they still play. Next up, another one of his Johnny Cash records, another one he pulled out of Izzy's, the Man in Black album from 1970. Another one that he had bought originally when it came out, the Blood, Sweat, and Tears record on Columbia with the Legend of John Henry's Hammer. And this has, wow, this has an original Columbia sleeve. I don't recall seeing, I must have seen over the years playing this record when I was a kid. But lots of cool stuff on here on this sleeve. Another one, Johnny Cash, of course, Happiness Is You. I think this is another one from the height of his pill addiction. I don't know what year this is. What song is the hit on here? Oh, Guess Things Happen That Way, I believe is the hit. Another one, The Sound of Johnny Cash with Delilah's Gone, mono, no inner sleeve, the old-time Columbia label. One of Cash's, what would you call it? Maybe a comeback album or return to proper country and being more of a badass. I bought this for Dad, I think, for Christmas. I also have it on CD. Great album, of course. He does Beck's Rowboat, Soundgarden's Rusty Cage. Another instance of an artist we like taking a song by a band we really don't like and making it an awesome song. Another one he pulled out of Izzy's because he remembers going to the movies at the Roe show, as he used to say, when he was a little kid and watching the serials. Gene Autry, Country Hall of Fame. This is on Republic Records from 1976, a compilation of all his songs he sang, like Back in the Saddle Again and Tumbling Tumbleweeds. Yet another Johnny, another one he got out of Izzy's, the One Piece at a Time. You know the song about putting a car together from parts from every year and had an unusual car. And this, I know he got this one. He was in the Air Force. He told me so. This is an original of Johnny Cash's first album. As you can see, not in very good shape. You can enter the cover from, I think, almost from all four sides.
But you can't get it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom stapled the wrong side shut. But an original on Sun with all the early hits. Like I Walked the Line, which my dad, when we were kids, to make us laugh, he would walk around the house singing, Because You're Mine, Kiss My Behind, and don't do that. He goes to school and repeats that. He must have bought this when he was in high school or when he got out of high school, the Buddy Holly Story on Coral. This is an original on Coral. Johnny's first album on Columbia, The Fabulous Johnny Cash. Those are my dad's originals with, is this the one that has, no. If you know Cocaine Blues from Folsom Prison album, he did that song earlier on another Columbia album. It's under a different title though. I thought it was on this record, but it's not. Another one on Sun, a bit of, I think this is maybe a bit of a repackage after he moved to Columbia with Cry, Cry, Cry and So Doggone Lonesome, another original on Sun. Johnny's Patriotic album. I think my dad bought, I don't know what year this came out, but my dad, I think, got it in '69. This is From Sea to Shining Sea. With the song I remember most from this is Cisco Clifton's Filling Station. This is nice. This is a real nice Sun package. I think it was assembled after he moved to Columbia. Greatest Johnny Cash. With, actually doesn't have any of the hits on here, like I Walked the Line and stuff, but it has Katie 2 and get rhythm. And people always like to see the label, so this is an original Sun. Another of Johnny's Columbia ones. I think this is early 60s, and these are, I believe these are, he re-recorded some of his Columbia hits. Re-recorded some of his Sun hits for Columbia, but this is I Walk the Line on, yeah, there was no stereo mono yet, I guess, so this is just mono. A classic album of Johnny's, Ring of Fire, great album. Of course, the title track, and I Still Miss Someone, the Rebel Johnny Yuma, he does the Bonanza theme. Tennessee Flat Top Box is a good one. And I like this because it has that cool Columbia inner sleeve, classic album. I remember my dad used to, sometimes he would sing the Rebel Johnny Yuma song, but put my name in it when I was a little kid. Johnny Tremblay was a rebel, he roamed through the West. Hey! This is Hello, I'm Johnny Cash from, I believe, 69 or 70 with his great version, If I Were a Carpenter, sung with his wife, June Carter Cash. And as we've been seeing in other videos, Unipack, one of the worst innovations in record packaging. Oh, Heidi's not going to like this one. I don't know why my dad picked this up, but Conway Twitty, Georgia Keeps on Pulling My Ring. I thought this said plug for a minute. Keeps on Pulling My Ring. From 1978. Yeah, this was $3.99 at Izzy. He must have bought it when he came in. Oh, he does Chuck Berry's Maybelline. I don't think this was Dad's. This was just in the box. But yeah, I think Mom came in and bought Christmas music once, and she got the Herb Alpert Christmas album. So that's one of Mom's, but in with Dad's. Waylon Jennings. Why do we have this? Theme from the Dukes of Hazzard. You gotta have this if you're a kid of the 70s and 80s. And this was the best of Hank Thompson on. This is done the Capitol Starline label. Yeah, which was like a kind of a subsidiary budget of a label of theirs. Capitol inner sleeve, black label. All the hits, you know, Six Pack to Go, Hangover Tavern, which our friend Ben played on Head for the Hills this morning. Next one, when Izzy saw it, he goes, I hope he pipes that right into your room. Why, Dad? Why? Why? He liked the song Margaritaville, so he bought it. But Izzy says, I hope he pipes that right into your room. I think I bought this for him when I was a kid. One of the rock bands he liked, the Beach Boys. In fact, it's not up here in the pile, but downstairs in the basement, for some reason, it's in a crate with my great-grandmother's records. My dad's original copy of Surfin' Safari, which is held together with freezer tape. Name is written on it because I brought it into school in kindergarten for show and tell. But this is a reissue of Shutdown Volume 2 minus 2 tracks. I think I bought this for him as a birthday present or something when I was a kid. In Soundorama, you see I blacked out the price. Oh yeah. I also bought him a reissue of Surfin' Safari, which is I don't think this is missing 2 songs. It might be chopped off. Yeah, this album contains fewer songs than in the original released album. Another Hank Thompson, Cheyenne Frontier Days. Got it for 99 cents. Supposed to be recorded live at a rodeo in Wyoming. My dad got to see a rodeo when he was in the Air Force station in the Black Hills of Dakotas. I don't know if this is actually live. It sounds a bit phony. I don't think they could. There's rodeo sounds, and then they play the songs. The song sounds suspiciously like the studio takes. That's on Capitol. Another Cash, Bitter Tears, Ballads of the American Indian, classic album with the great ballad of Ira Hayes about the Native American who helped raise the flag at Iwo Jima and died drunk and penniless in a ditch.
I have to say, I like that he's digging the eyeliner right here. That's like an early...
Or is that just a shadow?
It looks like eyeliner.
Oh.
I think he's got the guy liner. I like it.
Of course, we all watched this variety show growing up in the 70s. Sha Na Na. My dad was a child of the 50s. Him and my neighbor, Mr. Decker, with their penny loafers and their sleeves rolled up with a pack of cigarettes in it, doing a ducktail to their bald head still, in cuff jeans. Sha Na Na is here to stay on Arista Records, all the 50s hits. All this stuff was on their earlier Buddha records, but this was a reissue from the height of the variety show. I don't know why he liked this. He even bought the cassette to play in the guitar in the car. Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. He liked this actor for a while. This guy wasn't in many more movies. He was in a movie I think called The Philadelphia Experiment, which was based on a true story where the Navy, the military tried to experiment with making a battleship disappear. And it's set on the Jersey Shore. It's Springsteen-like. I think my sister might have got this in for Christmas. Johnny Maddox, Crazy Auto Piano. My dad liked this ragtime stuff. He thought it was fun. If you're also a New Jerseyan watching this, you know of the Uncle Floyd show. And he liked to watch Uncle Floyd play the piano because Uncle Floyd would play the piano and look at the cameras and go, and keep playing. My dad liked that part. This was a television show in the 60s. Mickey Finn's West Coast #1 speakeasy. Again, it's like ragtime, Prohibition era type. It was a club in the San Francisco area, and I guess somebody at a network saw him and gave the guy like a summer replacement series. There's this album on Capitol, and we're going to get to another one in here that I think is on Dunhill. And it's all the songs like Sweet Georgia Brown and 5'2", Eyes of Blue. Another truck driving compilation for Dad because he was a trucker again. All the usual people, but it's even got Michael Parks from Then Came Bronson on here. But it's got Kitty Wells, Jim Nesbitt, Hank Williams, Dave Dudley, Conway Twitty, Roy Drusky on the GRT label from '76. My dad was happy I found this one for him at the store because he remembers, parents didn't stay up late, but he remembers seeing George Siegel on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson coming out seemingly inebriated and playing his banjo. And I happened to be going through a stack of records at the store, and this came out, and I was like, hey. So I got that for him. My dad liked this. Obviously came out during the Bonnie and Clyde era. It's from about '67 on a Philips subsidiary of Mercury. And then, not too long after, I found another one. George Siegel, A Touch of Ragtime. This one's on Signature. I don't know from what year, but somebody has written 12/1974 on it. My dad liked banjo music, I guess. This is a cool one. My dad found one of the times he came down to Izzy's. A multi-LP box set on RCA Victor, Stars of the Grand Ole Opry. This is a really cool set. I remember Izzy was looking at it over, and he was like, yeah, this is really nice. I don't know, Freddie, I might have to charge you full price for this one. But it's got all your usual suspects. Hank Snow, Porter Wagner, Grandpa Jones. Really cool set. I think Ben would like that. I got this for Dad, too. He liked this movie, too. The soundtrack to The Great Escape. United Artists. Oh, that's my friend Paul Larson's handwriting up there. He sold us a bunch of still sealed records. And another one of my dad's Johnny Cash records, Orange Blossom Special, which I think is from about 1965, as they do Bob Dylan's It Ain't Me, Babe, kind of Ring of Fire style. More truck driving music, this time from Red Sovine, the classic Giddy Up Go on Star Day. Roger Miller, Words and Music, with My Uncle Used to Love Me, But She Died. Also, here's weird version of Heartbreak Hotel. I don't know which song on here was the hit. I can't recall. This one was actually my great-grandmother's, and when my great-grandparents passed away, I got the records, and Dad took the Johnny Cash ones. This is like a budget best of on Harmony with a couple of his songs. Only 10 songs from the mid-'60s. Hank Williams' Greatest Hits, 14 of Hank's all-time best on MGM, with where the store was downtown Rahway years ago, Vogel's. I think that was where the bank is now. Oh, and these were a big part of, these next couple records were a big part of my childhood. My dad bought these. He's like, hey, that's that guy from I Spy. Bill Cosby's. I started out as a child on Warner Brothers. Separate the man from his art. It's really difficult, I know, with him now, but you have to. Bill Cosby's Why Is There Air on Warner Brothers. This one was always my favorite early Bill Cosby record. Wonderfulness with the Chicken Heart, and the go-kart bit was my favorite. I don't know, sometime in the fourth grade, I don't know, to kill time on a day, our teacher said, "Oh, we'll have a little talent show. Come up and talk and sing a song or something." And I did the go-karts bit in front of the class, and the teacher just thought I was crazy. Here's the other Mickey Finn. I showed the other one before. This one's on Dunhill. Yeah, famed West Coast nightclub is now recreated in living color on NBC TV. They do King of the Road, and there's all the other stuff, you know, Alley Cat, Beer Barrel Polka. It's Dixieland stuff. I don't remember this one. Oh, a Chet Atkins LP, Relaxing with Chet. Nice guitar work. Don't recognize any of the songs. I guess a bit of an easy listening thing. I know it's that country politan stuff. RCA, I guess. Oh, RCA Camden, so I guess it's like a budget compilation. Ooh, Stonewall Jackson's Greatest Hits on Columbia. Kind of sometimes had to take this record away from him because he would play that Waterloo song way too much. Columbia. And the other Bill Cosby he had, you see these in really bad shape because my sister used to take them to school and we played them a lot. They'd fall apart. It's got her name up there, so Mom put it back together with freezer tape. Revenge has the classic Buck Buck bits and Planes and the 9th Street Bridge routine. I don't know why he has this Sing Along with Mitch. They were all over the TV. It was on TV, so I guess he bought it. Oh. He had a Kingston Trio record. Best of the Kingston Trio on Capitol. Oh, there's a 45 in here. Yeah, I had to find this for him because he liked the video because it had custom cars in it. Mercury Blues by Alan Jackson. Just by coincidence, me and my friend Lauren at the store were going through 45s and this popped out. What is this? Oh, God. The Solo Cup Lady. I don't know how he got this. The Great Country Hits Series 1 vocals by Dora Hall. Dora Hall was the woman who invented solo cups, or was the heiress to solo cups, and she would make her own records, and she can and cannot sing. But I don't even recognize. Oh, she does Chuck Berry's Memphis and a bunch of other country songs, Merle Travis and stuff. I think it was like a mail order thing. Oh, I bought this for him. Elvis Presley's The Complete Sun Sessions with outtakes. Bought that for him one time. Oh. This was actually mine when I was a little kid, but somehow it migrated into his collection. A Beach Boys compilation on Pickwick, Little Deuce Coupe, with a Deuce Coupe on the back. Mainly all car songs from the early albums. Got my name written on the back because I took it to school or something. Oh, this one, my dad's. I played the hell out of this when I was a little kid. That's the coolest hot rod ever, the Tom McMullen 32 Highboy Roadster. This was a top 10 album. I have another copy of this of my own that I found at a record show up here. It's in better shape than this because this is falling apart. You can tell I really played the hell out of it. Beach Boys, Superstocks, that Cheers, Robert Mitchum doing Ballad of Thunder Road. This big grammar school little kid record for me. Would play this while I played with my Hot Wheels. Oh, this was mine too, but I gave it to him because he liked Homer and Jethro. Songs for the Out Crowd when he's got titles like When It's Toothpicking Time and False Teeth Valley. Is this a, yeah, this is an RCA Camden, which is like a budget label. Here we have organist Lenny D by Popular Demand. Mainly country music on this one. Wagon Wheels, San Antonio Rose, Oh Lonesome Me on Decca. My dad liked this movie. This isn't an official soundtrack. This is on that budget label Diplomat. The Longest Day and the Sounds of D-Day to V-Day in dramatic, stirring music. I think it's mainly just music. But Diplomat Records was out of North New Jersey, so he must have found this in a grocery store back in '62. Oh, I must have bought this for him one year. This is a reissue of Johnny's first album because I thought he'd want an upgrade. Got this at Vintage Vinyl. It's on Charlie out of the UK. Color's a little gaudy compared to the original. Oh, I remember this. Seeing this in his collection. Another budget one on the Somerset label. Country and Western hits made famous by America's greatest singers. But it's another one of those things where like, yeah, here's some Hank Snow songs, but they're sung by somebody named Jim Martin, and here's some Roy Acuff songs, but they're sung by somebody named Clyde Beavers. This is on the Somerset label, uber, very uber cheap. This, he made a bought on one of the few times he would go to a department store with us, Bradley's or something, Cruise in 1957, with hits of 1957. He might have just bought it because of the 57 T-bird on the front and that blonde. That's what is this on? Ruby Records. There was a whole series every year. One of the few like long-haired, he wasn't like conservative or nothing, but one of the few like 60s rock bands he liked. Again, I think I bought this for him. Creedence Clearwater Revival Chronicle, the 20 greatest hits. He really liked Creedence. I remember there was some commercial came on one time in high school for a collection set. He's like, look at that drummer play the drums. I guess he was trying to connect with me. Another Johnny, The Holy Land. My mom, I think, bought this him for Christmas. And he was like, oh, The Holy Land. Chet Atkins, just called Chet, on RCA Camden, which was like their budget label. Some random songs. I thought we had the one where it does Walk Don't Run, but we don't. But I think he may have bought this one, I see, because there's a song in here called Truck Driver's Blues. I remember being in Bradley's with my family when he bought this. We hadn't found the Smokey and Bandit soundtrack in the store yet. When we came across this in Bradley's in Woodbridge. Eastbound and Down, Jerry Reed, with the songs from Smokey and the Bandit, and then a few other things. Bob Dylan's Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, and Framed. That's also on RCA. All country artists seem to be on RCA. Oh, I didn't think I had this. I thought this was at my sister's house. Simon and Garfunkel, the concert in Central Park. When we first got Homebox, Heidi don't like that I say Homebox, it's HBO. When we first got cable and HBO after a year, this was on like all the time, every Saturday afternoon or something, and we'd watch it. And my dad just loved the moment. He would laugh at the moment where it was between songs and Art Garfunkel comes to the microphone and goes, and he looks out, he's like, what a night. And he just emphasizes the T on the word, what a night. Oh, it's got a little booklet. Yeah, I thought this was at my sister's house. Cool, because I want to play this. Because I liked how they do Late in the Evening. I kind of like that song. Next up, I think every couple that got married between 65 and 66 were issued this album along with their wedding license. Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass, Going Places on A&M. Statler Brothers, Flowers on the Wall on Columbia. Of course, with the title track, the great hit. Oh, they also do Johnny Cash's I Still Miss Someone, King of the Road. Buck, the best of Buck Owens on Capitol. With all the hits, Act Naturally, Love's Gonna Live Here, Under Your Spell Again. I get the feeling that this isn't in good shape, but no, it's in still good shape. It's on the Starline label. Another Herb Alpert, Standing Room Only. Again, another one they must have been issued when they got married. Where did this one come from? Oh, this might have been in my great-grandmother's collection, and Dad took it. A much later Sun record of all the early things. Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 2. Yeah, this is when it became Sun International and Shelby Singleton owned it. And Eddie Peabody and his banjo, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey. What label is this on? I remember this guy was just so weird looking. Oh, it's on Pickwick. I remember some old man calling the Izzy's and asking for Eddie Peabody records, and I was like, oh, I don't know if we have any. If we do, they're probably buried somewhere. I said, we usually throw those things away. He's like, what? Eddie Peabody? That's that guy who played for Kings and Queens. Like, really? Another one from one of Dad's rare trips to Izzy's. The super country legendary Tex Ritter on Capitol EMI from 1972. I don't know, he was still making records. And of course, you all know he's John Ritter's dad. I've never really seen that red Capitol label before, or I haven't seen it much. I remember playing a song from this on our show. What was it called? Bourbon Man by Tom T. Hall. Ugh, we had to go see this movie. Bronco Billy. Terrible, terrible movie. But this is the soundtrack. Clint Eastwood, Elektra Records, Ronnie Milsap, Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard and Clint Eastwood doing Barroom Buddies. Barroom Buddies, and that's the best kind. Wonder if Ben sings that. Oh, this was actually mine when I was a little kid. Dick Clark's New 20 Years of Rock and Roll. Hey, it's got the Hollies on it. Yeah, Lulu. God, I haven't seen this record in a long time. Oh, this is one. Another one of those budget grocery store records. Story of a Broken Heart by Johnny Cash. I don't know if they legally did or not, but they got a small number of Johnny's son stuff. Then they added these people I don't recognize. Frank Simon, Bobby Austin, and Jan Howard. This is on the Design label. No, yeah, or I don't know. Pickwick International, Stereo Spectrum. Can't make it was mine. Ernest Tubb's Golden Favorites. Ernest Tubb, I listened to him and he was just a bucket. That's the old joke, folks. This is on Decca. Rainbow label. Has Walking the Floor Over Years, most famous song, or song I know the most. Johnny Cash. The Johnny Cash Show, probably from 69, 70. Recording straight from the television show. Columbia Special Products budget one called Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Again, I think this was in my great-grandmother's records. Collection of random Columbia tracks. Johnny Cash and San Quentin. Now you're probably going to ask, your dad didn't have Folsom Prison? For some reason, I just remembered that record is downstairs in a crate with my great-grandmother's records somehow, with some other random records. My dad somehow ended up with 2 copies of that album. I think he bought it twice, or someone bought him another copy. But this is the San Quentin one, maybe not as popular as the Folsom Prison one, or as legendary as the Folsom Prison one. This came with a full-size poster of the cover, which hung on our basement wall for years, up until we sold the house and moved out. But this is the one with Wanted Man and the boy named Sue, of course. This one, yeah, this one I think he got out of Izzy's. This is from 73, Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash. Johnny Cash and His Woman. I don't recognize any of the songs in here. I don't know them well. Maybe City of New Orleans. Isn't that like a Willie Nelson song or something? That's a good one. Now, the title is familiar. But yeah, that's that was at that point, you know, it was another year, another Johnny Cash record. And finishing this up, he wanted some big band music, and I found this for him downtown in Soundorama. Glenn Miller, the complete Glenn Miller, Volume 4, 1940, the Bluebird recordings. He wanted some big band music, so I got him this. And that is pretty much all of my dad's records. Nothing else in the cabinet there. To wish Happy Father's Day to everybody else in the vinyl community who happen to be a dad. That even includes dads of dogs and cats. That's what Heidi says. I'm Oliver's cat dad. Enjoy your day. I hope you enjoyed seeing all my dad's old records. I saw a few things I forgot were in there. Thanks for watching our channel. Shout out to everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next time.